Good afternoon, everyone. I like to start with a thought. Imagine our superstar Rajinikanth without his tail. Can you imagine Virat Kohli's batting without aggression? They unmuted their identity. That's what happens when you unmute yourself. Innovation is like, again, superstar's punch dialogue. If you mute it, it becomes useless. Let me share you an example of unmuting innovation, which is India. India unmuted its innovation, and the entire world seen it, paid attention. See, India was colonialized, struggled, and it was seen as a nation stuck with poverty, corruption, or slow economy for many decades. But we started unmuting. We started unmuting not only innovation in many areas. We unmuted our culture, we unmuted spiritually, yoga, music, movies, even food. All these unmuting things will give you influence. For example, you will admit if I say that our butter chicken has made greater diplomacy than few of our ambassadors, right? Similarly, unmuting innovation gave us supremacy, more than influence. See, we were slowly building our innovation during the foundation era of 80s to 2000. In that era, we came up with ISRO's many launch vehicle events like SLV, PSLV and all those things. We did integrated guided missile systems, Pokhran 2, and also we connected the rural parts of the country with deep network, IT, and TCS, Wipro, Infosys. They put up India's innovation in the global arena. Whereas this is just a foundation era. But next came from 2020 to 2000 to 2025, last 25 years, one generation. The one generation, what we have done is tremendous. Like Chandrayaan 1 to Chandrayaan 3. We are the first country to land in the southernmost part of the moon. Mangalyaan, like it is cheaper than Martian Hollywood movie. Imagine about BrahMos, INS Arihant, nuclear submarines, and the IT boom, especially UPI, Aadhaar, digital economy, the amount of Aadhaar which have generated data, we have been as a leader. The leadership continued in COVID also, in finding out COVID vaccines and all those things. Now we are in AI, supercomputer, semiconductors, everywhere. And also, we never stopped with this kind of innovation. We built innovative minds and from IITs, and we supply to entire world, and they are leading us, global CEOs and tech giants across the globe. And non-IITs like us, we are grooming to develop the India to the next level. This one generation of unmuting innovation is so tremendous that the entire world is scared about India. Not because what we achieved in this 25 years, the speed what we achieved and what we are going to be in 2050. That gives them a greatest scare. That's where I want to share you how to unmute to the next level. Because we are the youngest country in the world with 65% of people lesser than 35-year-old. So this is not youth advantage, this is youth tsunami. What will happen if the youth tsunami strikes? Let me move on to the slides to share you about innovation. Innovation is a process, it's an SOP kind of thing. Innovation comes with a pillar of inventions and the foundation of ideas. Ideas which solves a problem. Ideas has a brick. Ideas are coming out of creativity. The creativity sparks an idea which solves a problem. This evolves into an invention through testing, experimenting, designing, and shaping. And if you say, okay, you got an idea and got an invention, whether you reach innovation, no. It's a practice. It's a kind of SOP. You need to build a system where you do continuously innovating things and you can reach innovation. It is not an one-time eureka moment. It is like brushing your teeth daily. You can't say 2005 I brushed once, I'm okay for the rest of the life. No, you need to brush your teeth twice a day, at least once a day, right? So this is what innovation is about. When we talk about innovation, let me share an example of two legends. One is Thomas Alva Edison, the other one is Nikola Tesla, my favorites. So what we think about them, if I ask who is Thomas Alva Edison and Nikola Tesla, we say scientists, right? Wrong. They are entrepreneurs. Fierce ones. How many people know? We don't know. See, Thomas Alva Edison had his own DC company. He ran propagandas against AC current, and he was running a very big, commercial, practicalized person with a very big DC company era of it. And his company was acquired by GE, a typical Silicon Valley founder. Similarly, if you take Tesla, when he came, already DC have occupied the entire globe. So he was fighting with his AC currents. He was very visual. He was very visionary person, idealistic person. And he electrified entire big events like this and exhibitions to prove that AC is safe. He hustled to make investment and attract investors. He's a typical startup hustler. Okay? This is how they shown us how a startup works, like how an innovation works. From idea to a product development, validation, market validation, raising funds, and then building the company, then scaling up and getting into IPO or being acquired. This is exactly startup they are doing in 19th century. They were like Android and Apple of 19th century. We are in 21st century now. Still talking about unmuting our innovation, right? So how did it started, like how to move on to the next level? Whether India does any kind of opportunity to unmute these things? Yes, India is doing a lot. If I ask you what India does for unmuting, you will say Startup India and many events and then funds, grants, incubations, accelerators. These are all one part of it. Let me tell you a secret recipe of how India have unmuted startup scenario in this last 10 years. It's student competition. Yes, you heard it right. It is a student competition. Let it be Idea Forge to any other companies. Daksha, I can name 30, 40 companies which have went to IPO, who are applying for defense. Everyone have came up from a student project or a student competition, who understood how startup works, who are very, very busy, very serious into that. And that's how not only big entrepreneurs come, also successful serious entrepreneurs nowadays are finding co-founders from these kind of contests. And that is also my story. I was actually a curious, young, ideological kid, over-ideologist, and elderly persons mock me and criticize me from family or anywhere. But my friends appreciate me. I'm from Tanjavur, just 50 kilometers away from here. And I was driven with the passion of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. That time it was a Kalam wave. Most of us joined Aero. But after joining Aero, normally we will see that we will think that we are going to fly an aircraft through BTech Aero, but it is not. First year we will learn that you need to go for piloting for that. Second year we know that to work in it, we need to go for aircraft maintenance engineering. And third year we will understand BTech Aero is a design course. But fortunately I understood it very early and quit it, and I took AME, aircraft maintenance engineering, which is again is a non-graduation. I'm a first generation graduate, and it was very hard. Chasing a dream is good. When you listen it looks good. But when your family cannot afford for it, you need to go for a part-time job. You need to desperately work for the situations and all those things. But my takeoff in my career really took when I was, having a cross-country maintenance. At that time, a trainee crash landed Cessna 152. The aircraft was supposed to come back in flight. We stripped it completely, put it in track, and we returned it in track. Its crash was my takeoff. I got a lot of big experience through that and continuously worked on nearly about 7 to 8 aircraft reassembling and dismantling in light aircraft industry. With this experience, I had an accidental academician. I became in Hindustan, hits Chennai. There I could interact with students with the same connect, no gap in that BTech arrow. So I started to pitch them UAV drone related thing where they can directly apply also aircraft maintenance. Like that, when we are moving on, one of my mentee, Susinder, he did ornithopter less than 1 rupee weighing ornithopter that time, 2011 I'm talking about. So he explained me about SAE International. SAE International runs aircraft design challenge for 36 years. People from NASA, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, they sit, they judge, and they give the feats. And with a great effort and with the support of management and the student team, we went and participated. It was really an eye-opener for me. Out of 150 global teams, 75 are Indian teams. 50% are Indians. So that gave a very big thought process. After coming here, I really desperately wanted to know more how it works, why this is happening. And continued with, again, IARC, China, Beijing, International Aerial Robotic. That was a time when Dr. APJ Kalam, Abdul Kalam invited me. See, only because of his inspiration, I started the career path. But he invites and we met him in Rajbhavan. And his meeting was so precious. After that, I realized what I should do. Then I pitched with every associations like SAE India, Aeronautical Society, Institution of Engineers, everywhere, and launched the same competition in India. We did it with the same quality of international standard. That's the era of drone. After post 2014, 2015, you can see a lot of startups coming up. And what we thought, we started to do. And we started to mentor those people. And so far, I have brought up some 15 to 16 big startups who are supplying drones to defense, working on reusable launch vehicles, satellites, electric vehicles, and many. And all are because of the result of those competitions. We went one step further and we united from every association and we founded Institute of Aeronautics, Astronautics, and Aviation. Now it is being active in India, in the Aerospace Forum of India. Nearly about 600 institutions, students are connected. In IEEE, we don't believe on building membership clubs and opening up membership. Rather than we are like a magnet, we attract students who are very active, right from 9th standard students to active PhD holders we have, and even we have people from multiple fields, from cinema to YouTubers, who are all connected to that ecosystem. This is how we built it. So this is one part. This is going fine, but COVID came. COVID was a very big game changer across the world. So as to us also. So what we did, I was doing for Chennai, Greater Chennai Police, entire drone monitoring and all those things. Same time, I got stuck with one thing. Like every day, daily, the newspaper will come like learned people going and selling groceries and all those things. So that time there was an idea. Why can't we get these talented people and create a job pool for them? But that ended up in pitching. Whatever I created through my students, it gave a path for me. But unfortunately, I landed as a high-paid director of an engineering college. The investor seen me as his employee rather than investing in the idea. Realizing that within a year, I came out of it. And one of my mentee, Shiva Prasad, turned into my mentor. He mentored and groomed my startup idea. And we both arrived to a point, that's what Pullinam Aerospace Technologies, that is the birth of Pullinam Aerospace Technologies. About Shiva was alumni of VIT, and he ended up in his so-called super dream job of that university. He was directly reporting to Bajaj Finance president, and this guy kept the startup funding, and I established. Believe me, as entrepreneurs, any entrepreneurs, if you go and ask, the start will be very tough, very, very tough. Yes, it was very tough for me and my family also, that too being a first gen grad. And when we talk about I'm going to build an aircraft in Tanjavur, in Tiruchi, even if I say the importance of Indian Air Force Base, that these things, people won't understand, so I never say. So only thing, they can't stop, so they need to leave us. So there are a lot of theory stories behind. Leaving that apart, that's how we started. Thanks to Suganya, my better half, and also my parents who supported. And this was like this, and Shiva, at a point, he resigned and came. He was from Trichy. His parents were shocked. They were like, for them, their kid was, well settled. Then they got shocked and they came in. Eventually, they got converted into our first investors, and they are happy now. Like, at least they are happy with our process. They are happy how we are going. In the very first year itself, we got very good milestones, but we kept everything under the carpet. We are coming out now from this October GSS and all those things. So what I am trying to say, see, great opportunities, especially for unmuting innovation, is coming up. Yes, Indian government and also Tamil Nadu government are working towards greater heights. Tamil Nadu focuses to be the backbone of India's startup economy. Of course, because of the FDI, Tamil Nadu stands in the 5th place, but startup ecosystem is going to change this. And you are the main people, you are the foundation for that innovation. Your ideas, you are going to solve problems. Especially when I say, if you are a student studying in any university or college and thinking about your high-paid job, see, don't focus into job if you really have got a drive like Manoj. Similarly, if you are like woman in households, you have a degree, graduation, and you have kids, and you are in household, please come out of your cage. India needs, the country needs, the globe needs. You are not only locking yourself, you are locking a Indian economy within your home. Similarly, if you are a girl, you are feeling in the comfort zones that, no, this is okay for me, I will move on within a comfort zone. The thing is that if I ask any question, there will be two type of people will be there. One readily will answer. He won't see who is looking at him. He will stand up and shout. Up to him, only myself, the speaker, and he is there. But there is another guy. The moment they know, they realize that they know the answer, the 100 people hall becomes 10,000 people hall. The 20,000 eyes in his imagination becomes 1 lakh eyes. And they shrink and they feel very shivered. Please break and unmute your innovation. Comfort is a cage. Innovation is the key for it. So this is what the idea I want to spread to the TEDx. I believe it's worth sharing. Thank you.